Greetings and salutations, comrades. Hope this finds you well. Quick shout out to the two Uber comrades supporting my channel and this content on Patreon. My partner, Thank you, Rosen, Independent Left News. Definitely check out Independent Left News. They are a great resource, no doubt. So I came across this article on the Hood Communist website. Shout out to Hood Communist. They do some amazing work there. And this article in particular was written by Margaret Kimberly, familiar with her work at the Black Agenda Report, as well as on the Left Lens YouTube channel, where her and Danny Haifong have a lot of amazing conversations and people on there. And the title of this article is concerning how the U.S. is spending COVID relief funds to build prisons and to fund the police, which is an absolute travesty, but again, something that's not surprising. Again, needs to be pointed out, cops do not make people or communities safe. In the United States, they are a form of social control. They uphold capitalism and white supremacy. Time and time again, we see them on the wrong side of so many social issues, whether it's the labor movement, the Black Lives Matter movement, civil rights movement, etc., etc. So here we go. U.S. COVID-19 relief funds are being spent on police and prisons. This was back on a little over a week ago. Health and financial impacts of COVID. So again, this death toll, I believe it's already over 700,000, right? There's an easy case to make in favor of the 1.5 trillion American Rescue Plan. I would say even, more than that, obviously, right? Which was passed in order to relieve many crises. Argument is hard to make when those funds are being used for police and prisons. 100%. Again, the United States, supposedly the land of the free, has the world's largest prison population. Again, I forgot who said this, but it's a point well taken. They call it the American dream because you have to be asleep to believe it. The state of Alabama is poised to use the American Rescue Plan funds to build 3 new prisons. Philadelphia is paying for police and for jails. The state of Idaho is increasing correction officer salaries. Mesa, Arizona will buy surveillance equipment for its police departments. Again, this is all while, we're still very much in the middle of the pandemic. The working class, the marginalized, communities of color in particular have been hardest hit by the, economic impact as well as COVID itself. Instead of giving money to the masses who need it the most, where the United States, under this late stage capitalist empire is just going further down the, police state in order to, beef up these, surveillance state apparatus in order to, again, just act as a form of social control and just, ratcheting up those tensions, those contradictions. A lawsuit is pending in Kansas City, Missouri, which will determine whether relief funds can be allocated to that city's police department. Jesus Christ. Prison building proposal in Alabama is particularly troubling. Only 40% of its population is fully vaccinated with COVID-19. The spread of the Delta variant there has resulted in COVID-19 patients utilizing half of the ICU beds in the state, which means that non-COVID patients are also impacted by the lack of capacity. Yeah, so how about instead of building 3 new prisons there, how about you increase hospital capacity? You build 3 new hospitals that have the ICU beds to treat COVID people, so it means people without COVID who have medical needs are able to get treated. That would seem like a lot better use of the money. Again, basically any other use of the money than giving it to the cops, giving it, to make more prisons would be a better use of it, whether it's housing, education, healthcare, mental health services, parks, reparations, whatever it may be. It'd obviously be hugely more beneficial than, dumping more money into the fucking prison industrial complex. An average of 50 Alabamas die every day of COVID-19. Black people in the state are as hesitant as white residents to be vaccinated and consequently have the same high death rate. One would think that Alabama would be a state eager to bolster its healthcare system with ARP funds. Alas, incarceration is a priority while sick people literally can't find a hospital bed. All of these plans cynically claim that policing, incarceration, or health safety infrastructure issue. Oh my God. ARP funds are allowed to make up for losses of revenue. They could have just easily be used for healthcare, housing, or schools, as I was saying earlier. Police departments are very well funded. I would say, yeah, overfunded, right? With over 118 billion spent on U.S. police departments as of 2018, and that number's probably went up. Armed forces of Russia, Germany, France, and the UK and Japan all receive less money than the American police departments. This is because police in this country are a domestic military force, just as the days of the slave patrol they used to keep black people under physical control. Maintaining that level of control is a constant political priority, regardless of whether any other needs are met. Police can always count on having good paying jobs and all the resources they want. Cops aren't, part of the working class. That always needs to be pointed out. While the millions suffer from low wage work, inadequate housing, and crumbling schools. No one should fear eviction because ARP funds have been earmarked for rental assistance, but states and cities are slow to spend that money. Failure here is not just about systemic racism as it pertains to law enforcement. There's also failure of left-wing movements. Mayors and legislators should be afraid of public opposition if ARP funds are used for anything except human needs, 100%. In the absence of strong movement politics, they can expect little pushback and are assured of getting whatever they want. So that was from Margaret Kimberly. Definitely check out her work here. It's at the Hood Communist and also at the Black Agenda Report as well. Hood Communist, Black Agenda Report, two really excellent outlets. Definitely can't recommend their work enough, but that's the perfect encapsulation of the United States. We already have the world's largest prison population in the land of the free. We spend more on police departments than many countries like Russia, UK, and Japan, as Margaret cited in that article. And yet, nope, here's more money to build prisons. Here's more money for cops while we can't even get universal health care during a pandemic. That's, the US in a nutshell, just a shithole country, very few elite capitalists at the top doing very well while everybody else fighting for the crumbs, if that. And then obviously, always needs to be pointed out, the crises of capitalism are always felt, the most by the most marginalized and impacted, BIPOC communities, the, disabled folks, people with disabilities, the elderly, LGBTQ folks, et cetera, et cetera. Not surprising, but really, really disgusting to see nonetheless. Like the video if you like the video, subscribe for more content, all part of the people. Peace.